Hello and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. We are on our second card for this week for the wonderful stamp set of the week, Gallery Blooms. It's got these 5 beautiful images, and it also comes with a set of dies. There are 13 in total. So I'm going to open the dies up before we look at the card, and I can show you everything that we've got. So, as I say, there are 13 dies. There's only 5 stamps images, so we've got some extras, which is brilliant. So the first thing we've got, I'll come back to that for a second. So you've got this wonderful frame, which we're going to be using today. It's a 2-piece frame, so I'll show you that in a second. We're going to use that. We've got some foliage for the background. Then you've got this really large die for that image there. Okay, obviously this image is a lot smaller than this is, and we've got 1, 2, 3, an image for that, sorry, a die for that, that one, and that one. And we're going to use that image today because we're going to use this one. And then of course you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other ones that you can use as added extras should you wish to. Right, so let's pop these away. We've got out the ones that we need, and try and get them back into the sleeve without sending everything flying. Perfect. Right, so let's bring in our card. So you can see we've got a framework here. We're going to run, so this is what's created this framework here. And for today, I'm going to use the different flower to this. I'm going to use this one, which I'll show you in a second. And apart from that, everything else is going to be the same. So let me bring in the supplies and you can see where we begin. So I have got, she says, so the first one I've got is, this is basic grey. It measures 3 3/4 by 5.5. Then I have a piece of this is Petunia Pop. Now this is 3 3/4. No, it's not. It's 3. Yes, it is. So it's 3 3/4 by 5.5. And then we've got a white piece, which is 3.5 by 3.5 by 5.25. So that's nothing different from what we normally have. I have got a piece of the Designer Series paper that matches with the stamp set, and for the life of me I've forgotten what it's called, so if you bear with me for a second, I will grab the book and we can quickly have a look. The best thing to do is to go at the back, find the scrapbooking page, the stamp section, which is here. I'm looking for Gallery Blooms, which is there, page 55. So much quicker to do it that way, isn't it, really? There we go. And this is the paper I'm using. So this is number 8, and it is called Beautiful Gallery. And I'm going to use the reverse section so that I get this two-toned paper, the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to run that through the cut and emboss machine like that. And when it comes back, it looks like this. So it's all cut out. So it's cut out 3 pieces. So you've got the outline, and then you've got a middle and a section. Well, this bit we're not going to use today, but we are going to use this. And what we're literally going to do is I'm actually going to just turn it round. So I've got light and dark and light and dark. Okay, so let's put this lot of, oh, and I've got a piece of scrap paper for my flower. So we'll start with the flower first. So this, oops, excuse me. This I'm going to ink up, and I've got Pebble Path because I love Pebble Path. I know it's a colour that isn't in anymore. So you could use basic grey, you could use grey granite, or you could just use any other total colour that you've got. But for me, at the moment, it's going to be Pebble Path. Now, you need 2 of these. I know I've only stamped up 1, but we're going to colour it in with Granny Apple Green and Petunia Pop. So I'm going to do a dark Granny Apple Green, and I'm just going to do the edges for this. It's just literally to give it some shaded definition. Okay. Then I'm going to go over with the light Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to go over the whole image so that everything blends in nicely. I feel like I'm doing this in the dark. I'm going to put my glasses on. Bear with. There we go. I can see what I'm looking at now. So I'm just going to go over with my light Granny Apple Green. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in the Petunia Pop. I'm going to start again with the dark, and I'm just going to colour in a few of the sections of the flower. I'm not going to colour in lots. The images are just too small to give you too much definition. So by just adding a few of the dark and then going over with the light, you should get some definition. Well, that's my theory. Right, and then when you've done that, grab your die, which is this one, and it goes right over the top. Run it through the cut and emboss machine. If it makes life easier, you could use a bit of washi tape just to hold it down. Sometimes that makes life easier. I just literally go like that. Okay, and then run that through the cut and emboss machine, and they will come back, as long as you've done two, looking like that. So now we can create the card. It's really that simple today for our second one, even though we are using the dies. So we're going to fold this at the 4-inch mark and burnish with my bone folder. Then I'm going to layer it with the Petunia Pop, and I'm going to add my multi-purpose for that. Well, that's not working very well, is it? How many times does that happen? Okay, that's not working. Let's bring in another one. I wonder if the glue... Oh, look at that. Oh, there was a... Look, you can see there's a tiny bit of glue there. Come on. There we go. So if you want to know if your glue pot is empty or nearing to the end, it starts off with around 40 grams. And then as it goes down, obviously, once it gets to 15 grams, your pot is empty, because that is how much the actual pot contains. So mine are about 23 at the moment, so there should still be a lot in there. I'm now layering this white piece down on the top, not doing anything to it, which is unusual for me. I mean, I will stamp on it in a minute, but not just yet. So taking the two frames, the largest of the two, I am just going to stick down, and I just want this tiny section of Petunia Pop to pop through. So I'm just going to add a bit of the glue onto it. Just going to run it down. Quite simple. I'm going to put the dark at the top. Now, it's up to you whether you have this card landscape or portrait. It's not until you put the actual sentiment on that you need to make that decision, because everything will stay in its same place. Now I'm going to put the second layer down, so that's going to go in. So as you can see, it comes out of the machine looking like that. I'm literally just going to turn it round so it goes like that. Again, another layer of the little glue. Don't need it to be excessive, just a nice little thin line all the way around, and that will be perfectly adequate to hold it down. There we go. So by doing that, and you've got the two tones, you can see that you've got two frames. Now you've got your flowers, so you've got one here and one here. So you can have it like that, or if you turn it round, you could have it like that, or turn it around that way. You can still. But I think for this purpose of this one, I'm actually going to use my landscape version. Okay, now before I stick these down, I'm going to bring in the sentiment birthday wishes. Now that comes from the Simply Said stamp set. I use that quite often, and I'm going to use the Petunia Pop. And that way it will hopefully give the card a little bit more of a pop to stand out, and it's not just all in the greys. So ink it up, check on your piece of paper, on your scrap. You're happy with that? Yep, that works. Bring that down so I can actually see what I'm doing. Always a good sign. Make sure it's as fairly central as you can get it, and straight, obviously. Perfect. I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to add my flowers. Now, you've got the choices of either laying them flat, or you can give it a bit of dimension using dimensionals. Now, this one, I have actually used the dimensionals. I don't know if you can actually see. Just look down there. So I think I'm going to do the same again with this one. Just going to grab over here my dimensionals. There we go. And I'm just going to add a few. So one down there. You don't need to add more than, I would say, 2 or 3. There we go. I keep thinking I've got glue stuck on my hand. Now I could have it there. I could have it slightly tilted. I'm still not quite sure about this one. So I'm going to add my 3 dimensionals. Again, top, middle and bottom. Yeah. Do we want it? No, that looks too uniform. Let's see if I turn it round. And it looks like, yes, that's better. It looks like it's coming from the, it's hanging down like a vine. I think I enjoy that. Yep, I'm going to go for that. So let's turn that over. Take out the dimensionals, backings off. I mean, the easiest thing to do is if you're going to do it, say for example, like that. So you've got the 2 little bits. If you turn it round, you can do exactly the same. Just pick off the, do you hear the little tip tapping of Bella's feet then? She's obviously decided looking out the window is no longer for her, and she's going to lie on the carpet instead. There we go. So that is our card, and obviously I'm going to need a piece of inside layer, which I haven't got, but you could just put it in or stamp out your flower again. And you could even, let's lean over and grab my, oh, what's that? Oh, not dimensionals, my bling. So I want to see what I've got. I can add a bit of, I could add those greys. They look quite good. Let's do that. So taking my pointy tool and my, so these particular ones are the 2025 to 2027 flat pearls, and I'm using the cloud cover. So let's have a look. We could do one up here, and we could do one down there. And do I, let's have a look. I know this is a different colour. Decisions, it's so difficult, isn't it? Do you ever have that problem? Oh, it comes to me all the time. Right, so just while I'm talking to you, I've had this idea, so bear with. Right, so I'm going to put a light one of these up the top here. Might do the smaller version. So it goes up there. Okay, and then I'm going to do a dark version, that one there, and then the small dark version onto the light one there. Now I normally say odd numbers because odd numbers makes the eyes happier. However, on this occasion I'm sticking with the 4, and I'm quite happy with that. So there is today's card. Let's bring in the other one. I hope you like both of those. I think they're brilliant cards for many a recipient, obviously a birthday card and a get well soon card. So do join me on Friday. I'll be back for a funky fold, and I've got a really interesting funky fold for you, so do come back then. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to catch up with you very soon. So thanks ever so much. Take care. Bye.